Here to actually come out and share with us the experience regarding the Launchpad Tour. Come, any volunteer want to share their experience? Hurry up, if not I will choose already. Yeah.
So basically, I think this tour basically it provides a very good exposure, a platform for students like us. Like we have some of us we have ideas, but we don't know how should we proceed. What's the next step? So this tour somehow sum up everything, like where we can go, who we should find, and who are the guiding posts that we can seek to so-called further our ambition, our ideas, and yeah, through this experience, I really feel that actually Singapore there's a lot of opportunities around, and it's up to us to explore, to go out, to seek help, and step out of the comfort zone. Yeah, and I think this way I really benefit from this tour.
Okay, can we give this a round of applause? Okay, so right now, let's invite Mr. Alex Ng from Space Venture, Mr. Tan Teck Guan from Infocom Investment, as well as Mr. Bernard Nair from Money Smart for this panel discussion. Okay, come a round of applause.
Okay, so hello everyone, I'm your moderator for today. I'm Cheryl, and just another brief run through with who we are meeting. This is Mr. Tan Teck Guan. He's a mentor in residence in Infocom Investments. This is Mr. Alex Ng, Managing Director at Space Ventures. And this is Mr. Benoit Nair, co-founder of Money Smart. So let's get down to business. Sorry. Okay, so let's ask first. What are some advice that you have for pitching to a venture capitalist? Can we start with Mr. Teck Guan?
Pitching to venture capitalists. It's like, well, so Infocom Investments is a VC company. So we do manage a 200 million fund. It's an evergreen fund that we invest mainly in Series A and some of the seed level kind of companies, mainly only on Infotech. So if you're looking at what you want, when you want to pitch to an investor, it's very much both on the fit on both sides. So you want to first know what this investor looks out for. Because as an investor, yes, while we have money and we want to invest, we don't invest in everything. We only invest in what we know. And we only invest in what we really, really believe in. So Infocom Investment with IT, if you have a chapati maker, don't come. It's not going to work because it's not our fit. It may be the best product in the world, but it's just not our fit. We likely that we are probably going to turn it down. Because we want something that is within what we call a mandate. So understand what the VC's mandate is. Understand what the VC's area of investment is. I already mentioned, right? We are doing more Series A, some seed. So if you are already raising a certain size, or you're not even at seed and you're trying to raise some angel funding, coming to Infocom Investments, waste of time. You're wasting both your time and my time, which is not so nice. Correct? So there must be a fit. You must understand what they're doing and whether your company can then fit what we are looking for, and then you go for it. You go and meet the VC. Correct?
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so Mr. Benoit, you actually started up your own business.
Yeah.
So what would it like to actually get funding for it? So I understand that some of you have Citibank, DBS, those are very big banks, right? So how do you actually manage to get funding from them?
Oh, so I mean they are not our investors. So actually our lead investor is SPH in some VC firms as well. So Citibank is our client. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh.
I mean, what advice on pitching to VCs I think can be summed up very succinctly in: if you want money, ask for advice. If you want advice, ask for money. Works like a charm. Yeah.
money
they
will
will
follow.
come. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that what your experience is?
Yes. And Space Ventures is the early stage incubator and seed fund. So we invest very early stage ideas on the seed level. So I mean, what we want to share kind of makes a lot of sense. But you look after the business, say, our money, our money. They won't just give you money, right? It has to be an idea that you are really passionate, something that you really want to do. But before you even go to the VC, you have to decide whether is this business, this venture, something that's VC fundable. If you're going to set up a mama store, you can just set it up and it doesn't require VC funding. But there are also a lot of businesses that require VC funding, but they can't get the capital. So you have to really assess what kind of business you want to do, what kind of growth are you looking at. And if it's a VC fundable kind of business, then look at what kind of VC, like what they want to strategy. Are you a seed level Series A, or how do you go about that? And then apply some of these tricks that you know.
No, I really don't recommend that. And Series A, you better know what you want. If you need money, you better say you want money. You'll be shown the door if you're not.
But I mean, it's definitely a journey. I think if you go around talking to VCs, there are more than 300 VCs in Singapore. So after talking to all these guys, you probably get some experience. How do you go about pitching? How do you perfect your pitch? The first time you go out there, probably you can't perfect it. You wouldn't get it, right? But it also gain experience through the whole process. But at the end of the day, you have to really believe what is the business that you want to do before you go to pitch. And if you really don't need the kind of VC money, then don't even waste time in the pitch.
So you mentioned what Series A and C. What's that? Sorry, I don't know the terms.
Neither do
I'm not sure
Let me
if
try. I guess
somebody
if I follow on from the gentleman who shared the tour, the summary just now. I mean, you guys came here to understand what it is, and many of you have ideas and currently have ideas, but the exams always come as first priority. So you'll think about exams more than ideas, which is a good thing. Please study, get your degree, and then from there, then figure out what you want to do. Okay. So, but let's take it from the very beginning, and obviously we start with an idea. An idea is something in your head, and for me, I've got about 20 over ideas that pop up every day. Okay, big and small, stupid and good, whatever. But an idea is only an idea if nothing happens and you don't do anything about it. What we want to see is this idea becoming something much more tangible. It becomes a solution that solves a problem that people are willing to pay money for to solve. Alright? I mean, in a very simple example, if you have a headache, that's your problem, you're prepared to pay for Panadol to solve your problem. Right? The idea is, the solution is Panadol. The idea is not Panadol. The idea is to think of a medicine that can solve this problem, and your solution is that Panadol itself. Correct? So there is a lot of work that needs to be carried out from the point you have an idea to the point you even have a solution, a working solution. This is what we call the ideation stage, where you are really trying to identify what is the exact problem, where is the money to be made from the problem, and how are you going to make money from this whole thing. Okay, naturally, I'm not expecting you to be able to invent Panadol at the end of an ideation, but you figure out, like, you get close to a working prototype, where you can almost solve, or you can maybe solve one type of headache, not all the type of headaches. Correct? So this whole ideation stage is very much around you and your family and your friends kind of thing. So it's a very family and friends or angel round. So you're likely to try to raise somewhere between 25,000, 50,000. Some manage to raise even 80 to 100,000 dollars. This is an angel round where the person investing in you is likely to know you, family, friend, or perhaps someone that you've been working close in the business for. So these guys will say, yes, I believe you, I know you are a great guy, you are hardworking, fantastic, I believe you, you will get that. So I'm pretty prepared to put in a small amount of money. So that's an angel round. You get to a prototype. Once you have this prototype, you want to go out there and really validate it. So that's when you go out there and you, for example, join the accelerator program in IPL. But there are many other accelerator programs around now that we don't have a monopoly on it. And once you get through there, you formulate a business model. You have to build a mini MVP, a minimum viable product, an actual product, not play one, really crash one, can really run. You have a product, and it could be an IT product, which is what we're focused on, or some other product, depending on what industry you are in. And at this point in time, you're likely to get your first couple of customers, and you are likely to also raise your seed round. This is when you now have a actual business model, so you have a validated business model. You have validated means you know that this definitely will sell, and there are customers out there, not your friends, not your uncle, auntie, say, auntie, please buy from me. Real customer who's prepared to pay you some money to pay for whatever service or solution or product that you have. So this is really a seed round where you are now telling the investor, and typically this become what we call institutional or external investors, people you do not know, prepared to put in, you may raise a seed round of somewhere between $300,000 to $500,000 to give you money to prove that this model that you have validated will be able to scale, say, to be able to corner Singapore. I want to be able to earn and win 20% of Singapore's market with this thing. So you raise your seed round to be able to carry out this thing. At that point in time, you probably have to hire people, you hire quite a few others as well. In the original angel round, you maybe don't need to hire people. You and your founder just, in the garage, or Singapore don't have garage, wherever you want to do this thing. Complete your seed round, you have already proven that, hey, now I'm already known, now people know me, I've already gotten some traction, I maybe win some customers, nice sounding customers. I now want to expand. I can be expanding across industry, I can be expanding across geography. I now want to expand to Malaysia, Jakarta, Thailand, everywhere. This is when you have to raise your Series A round. Series A typically will start somewhere between 1.5 million to up to even 5 million, depending on industry, depending on the type of product you're going for. So, but it's typically at least 7-digit numbers. You are going to then, we are going to take a working model, a working business model, not working model, working business model, and we're trying to replicate it and grow like crazy. So at this point in time, we're expecting to see this thing fly. Originally you're just going slowly. You may be cash flow positive, you may be still losing a bit of money, but by Series A, we expect you to be at least cash flow positive. That means that you are spending less than you are making. You are making more. Okay? From that point of view, don't care about the money you put in the past, don't care about appreciation, don't care about your loans, but for what you are doing, you are spending less and you're making more money. So once you've completed a Series A, then you go Series B, where you talk about trying to go to IPO or do M&As. So that's beyond that. But that's how we go. So angel round followed by a seed round followed by a Series A round. That is in the most optimistic case. Life is never optimistic. Life is never so good. So likely that you might have to raise an angel, then you do something and then it doesn't work. Then you get some more angel funding, then you try to get your seed round, it doesn't work, get another seed. So you keep trying to raise at this round and try to barely even make Series A. But that's, yeah.
IPO, right? Does it deal with only Series A or just
We deal mainly with Series A, so that's our main bulk of our portfolio. We also invest in seed, but typically our seed investments are with the accelerator companies. So companies that have come through our accelerator programs, we will be able to, we will decide whether we might want to put seed investment.
So what about space venture? Are you
Space
dealing in Series A? Only
more seed, but we also go into angel stage. So anything from 50 to 500, that's our aim. Yeah. So we have done 4 idea stage, and they're all kind of like you guys fresh grads. So we kind of launched that and help them raise the next round of money and go overseas.
So if I were to start a business, I will go to you first instead of you.
And after that, you go to him.
Oh, then after that I go to you. Okay. So how was the when you started out the company, right? How was it like?
Oh,
Right, right.
what in terms of raising money?
Yeah. Do the ask for advice, get money.
So this is actually Money Smart's my second company. My first startup was a real estate search engine, so competing with the likes of Property Guru today. I think everybody knows of Property Guru. So I started back in 2007, when I was actually still in final year in uni. So during my first startup, there was this new grant program from MBA called the iGEM. Prior to that, there was no grant, so we applied for the grant. We got a lot of bad advice from mentors mentors, right? So, I mean, web technology at that point in time was relatively new, and we were almost the pioneer batch of, Web 2.0 entrepreneurs, right? This is the era of YouTube, Facebook, not Yahoo, right? So we had, mentors who were from the software days, right? So in a software company, how you build a defensible advantage is you register IP, right? You register for patents so that nobody can copy you. You say, I got IP, you cannot copy me. So I'm the only one who can produce this unique solution. When it comes to the web, I mean, let's take YouTube for example. There's so many video sites that are out there. There's YouTube, there's Dailymotion, there's Vimeo, but there's only one YouTube, right? As in, YouTube is miles ahead of the competition. So, I mean, I didn't know any better, right? For me, at that point in time, funding was a source of, everything you learn in school is that funding is a source of validation. Let me tell you, it is not, right? It doesn't mean that just because somebody is a mentor that they know better than you. You always have to trust your gut, process it through your own filter and not take everything wholesale. The condition was given to me that, oh, okay, your solution is not very innovative, but maybe you should innovate on the business model. Innovate is code word for complicate. Complication and business model don't go hand in hand, right? You want the simplest and easiest way to make money. Long story short, 1 year later, we only have $50,000, which is actually, you would realize, not a lot of money, right? If you've got 5 people to feed, even at $500 a month, that's 2.5K every month. You spend a bit on marketing, in less than a year, it's gone, right? So, we, 1 year later, ran out of funds. My co-founders were also, hey, we're not making any money. They had parental pressure to go get a real job, right? So, I, on the other hand, because I started before I graduated, I extended by 1 semester because I wasn't focused on studies. Decided to give it another go, and that's when I started Smart Loans, which was the sort of precursor to Money Smart. And I pitched for the same grant again, and they said the same thing. And basically, I told them to F off, and I did it myself. Yeah. So don't. I mean, and I made it work, right? So for the first 3 years of the life of the company, I'm not good at. What I've learned was I wasn't going to be dependent on funding to make the business work. And so you go out there, you make sure your business model from day one, make your own money so that you don't need to be dependent on other people funding you, right? If you believe in it so much, put in your own cash, make it work, because the further along you take your company, the more valuable it is. An idea is worth nothing. If you incorporated the company and you have a pitch deck together, it's maybe worth something, right? The more you do, when you have some customers, it's worth even more, right? So the further you take your idea, the more valuable it is, and the more leverage you have as a investors will want to fund you because you have a working business, not because you have a pitch deck, right? Yeah.
Okay, wow, that's a long school. Everyone, do you have any questions to ask any of them? Anybody?
And for Money Smart, what's the biggest obstacle you faced since you started?
Initially.
Yeah. Because being, like what you said earlier, when you first started off, it was a really, really new concept at the time.
Yeah.
So, like, what was the biggest obstacle that you faced?
I actually want to say people. So when I first started, it was just me. And you must understand, coming out from one failure is actually a bit demoralizing, right? So like, actually, I spent almost 4 months trying to make the whole business work by myself, when I had previously a team of 5, right? So I had 3 co-founders who were developers. I had another co-founder who was like doing BD and stuff, and then there was me. No developers, can't do anything to the side, right? I graduated from computer science, but I will confess and say I'm not very good at it, which is why I focus more on the business side. But yeah, like I was trying to make that work, and then after a while I realized that shit, the longer I spend trying to make something that doesn't work, the less time I have to move on to something that probably will. And so I started on comparison because we did mortgage comparison because I was previously in real estate, right? So I tried to look for adjacent opportunities within a space that I spent 1 year understanding. So So after people find a home that they like, the next process is to find a loan. Nobody pays $1 million in cash, right? So most people need to find a bank loan. Then I went to the bank's websites. None of them posted, even today, if you go to DBS, eBank, none of these sites post their rates. They're not transparent about it, right? So they try to get you to send an inquiry, then they get a salesperson to call you, then they try to hard sell you to get that loan. Yeah, so actually initially convincing banks was a challenge. So when I told banks, hey, I want to make a marketplace where we can list all the rates transparently and people can come and choose, select the best rates. They're like, but I don't have the best rates, why would I want to be on your site, right? So then over time I realized maybe I shouldn't tell them about what I'm doing. I just say, if I refer business to you, will you pay me? Then, oh yeah, we have a scheme for that, please sign this. So I was like, yeah. So sometimes you just have to find the simplest way to pitch an idea such that they get it, and that it adds value to them. And that's one of the earlier challenges that I had to overcome.
So basically you just told them that if you refer business to them,
yeah,
that's all.
But because ultimately that's what they care about, right? So if I complicate it by saying like, hey, we do this comparison and this is the algorithm.
So they don't care where your business is from, wherever, as long as you
right? So it's like what Tegon said earlier. You need to find a pain point and what's your solution. Their pain point is I want more business. Solution is I give you more business. As long as you match these two, then that's when you get through to people. Yeah.
So Mr. Alex, you've been sitting, like, basically you are the one who's sitting there and going, I will invest in you, I won't invest in you, is it?
It's like a voice.
So what kind of pitch actually works and what kind of style? The moment they step in, you're like,
I mean, we also have the same focus. We are ICT focused across different subsectors. So we see tech as a enabler to help grow the company. So it really depends on what kind of idea that the team is pitching. So we look at many things. Because we look at market size, we look at demand, we look at the model, look at competitors. And if that idea is something that we can resonate, and at the end of the day, we don't want to invest in something that we don't understand. So we look at something that we can understand and evaluate. So if that's something that we can do, we also look at the things and execute. There's something that can help to change something. There's something that can help give them the strategy advantage or help to shift certain things. Then that's where we come in and present markets. So because we are usually investing in such an early stage, we tend to try to incubate them for a year. So we work with them for a year, try to get them to market, try to get them to get revenue, ideally cash flow positive, then go to the pitch round. So we don't, of course we say yes, no, but of course it's a ongoing iteration process. We don't mean for the first time say, I don't think I like this idea, I think I like this idea. It's kind of ding dong for a while.
you want to ask a question?
So I want to ask you, right, what kind of qualities do you look for example, as a co-founder joining with your startup journey, and how do you keep everything else?
So you want to look at complementary skill sets. First and foremost, you need a co-founder who believes in the same vision that you do, right? If you have an idea and somebody's like, oh yeah, I've been trying this out for a while, that's not the right co-founder, because as a founder, it's very tiring, right? Because basically at the start of the business, you're doing everything, right? You're the manager, you're the director, you do payroll, you do admin, you clean the office, and you also have to go do business development, find money for the company, everything. So you need someone there who can go through thick and thin with you, and actually, I mean, most times it's very thick, right? As in you're constantly fighting battles. So I would say that's the first thing. So you want someone who's as excited as you about the idea and able to like, hey, actually we should do this on top of that, we should do this. Then that's someone who's able to build on your base idea and also complement you in terms of skills. In terms of skill sets, if you are the salesperson, you don't want to get another salesperson on board, right? Or you probably don't want to get another salesperson on board. You may want someone who is more technical, right? Who can help you build your website. You may want someone who is very good at social media marketing or writing articles or whatever it might be, right? Depending on what your business idea is. So I would say, passion first and foremost, and then skill second. price. I think as long as so I early in my earlier days, actually my first employee was an intern, right? So of course I had no money. I put it, I had $5,000 in saving. I went all in, right? Because I told myself, I mean, NUS they want to fund my second idea, right? Or the grant, they want to fund my second. I wasn't able to get the grant, so I was like, okay, I went all in. I had $5K in savings. Like literally, I had $0 in my bank after that. I was moonlighting for the company across the corridor, who was recently acquired, Zopin, I don't know if you know them. But basically, I was like, hey, I'm actually really good at marketing. I'll spend 2-3 days a week. They paid me like enough for me to eat, basically, while I could continue working on my idea. I had no money, so my first employee was an intern, and basically I told the intern, I will teach you everything I know, and this is what I know, right? So interns want to learn, and I think any fresh grad also wants to learn. So as long as people see progress in the company and they're constantly challenged and they're growing, and the team spirit is there, and they believe in the same cause, that keeps them motivated. If your company is not progressing, that's when they get demoralized. If they find they're not learning anything new, more so than money or salary, because trust me, like for the first couple of years in your startup journey, you will never have enough money. Yeah. So you have to motivate them other things that is within your control.
Is the intern still with you?
No, intern was just 3 months. She was still studying.
Okay. I mean, one thing that if you really want to know what a startup is, my suggestion is really go work as an intern for a startup. It doesn't mean that you must do your own idea from day one, right? Your idea is always there, it's always working. Alright? And we've already shared that a VC is not going to fund you based on your idea. It's going to fund you based on what you've done as a solution, based on the market size. So let the idea cook. It may evolve, it may grow, but work as an intern for a startup. Know the pain. We're only seeing the very, very front part of it. All the back, the shit behind it, you don't see. But as an intern, I'm sure you are part of it, so you will have to clean the shit as well. So, and if you like cleaning shit, then maybe doing a startup is good for you.
As a mentor in residence, right?
Yeah.
So you see a lot of those kind of teams, right? Usually, would you look at the people around, not just like the person who comes to you and who actually asks for advice? Do you see like is it important? Actually, it should be. How important
Yes.
is complementary skills in
Within the team itself,
the starting a business?
typically, I'm going to just go on to Alex's point again. The investment is based on, at early stage, the investment is based on 3 criteria from the startup itself. And the number 1 criteria is actually team. Okay, if you look at the CV Insights and the top 20 reasons why companies fail, top 20 reasons, and out of 20, you can count 10 of them is because of a team problem. Various reasons, but the team is extremely important. If it's a sole founder, is it because this guy cannot work with anyone else? Would he have problems hiring? Really? I mean, it could be. If he has a co-founder, let's look at the co-founders. How are they working together? Is it really complementary? Can they really fulfill everything? Because as a company, you don't not just need the execution side. You need your operations, you need your technology, you need your marketing, you need your sales. So many things. Can these 2 guys do everything? Do enough at least to get to the next stage? Or is it 3? When you start to have 5 co-founders, will start to get scary again. Because it's almost recipe that's surefire and sure break up. So it starts to get a bit scary also. So the team is 1 big criteria. The second is market size, and third is the actual technology or solution. But again, team, very, very important. If the team cannot work, no matter how great your product is, won't happen. Okay? So, and it's for good reasons. I'll explain. I mean, the saying goes, I rather fund a good team with a bad idea than a bad team with a good idea. But obviously, we prefer to fund a good team with a good idea, but this is definitely not good. But a good team with a bad idea can always be tweaked, can always be helped. We can adjust their model. We can always adjust the solution. We can always get them to go forward. A bad team, get it. No matter how good the idea is, don't waste your time. That's the reality. So as you guys are studying in your undergrad, really do what you're good at doing. Study hard. Really pursue both your academic side, pursue both your ideas. You can always think of your ideas all the time, but pursue your academic. Be good at really what you're doing, because ultimately, when you come out to the real world and when you work, we are going to evaluate you on what you can do. Okay? If you and I'm going to say this, you hear all those some startup, they say, wow, I stop my study and go out and do my startups. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. I mean, in my 6 months in IPO, I've met a number of founders who have stopped their studies and come out and work and do their startup. To say it bluntly, you don't know the fuck you're doing. You have never worked before. Because ultimately, as a company, your customers are eventually the MNCs and the people out there. If you don't even know what they're doing, if you don't even know what they're thinking, how are you even going to sell to them? And that's the real problem. So please, if you can work for a corporate for a while, work for a startup as an intern for a while, know what you're getting into, and then go and do a startup. You guys are still young. Most of you are less than half my age. So there's time.
Okay, so.
Sorry.
No, but just to add on one thing I want to say, right? Now this is the best time for you all to really start to mingle and know as many people. How do you find your co-founder? We have rejected many solo founders. Fantastic idea. I think that guy is superhero. Probably is super founder, so he can do a lot of things. But there are a lot of these kind of super founders. But at the end of the day, you want them to take all the weight. So the risk is on this person. For any investment you do, you want to look at how can the risk be shared. Not market risk, but the team itself is the one that's going to execute. So what if this person got fever, dengue fever now? The whole company stopped 3 weeks. Cannot be, right? So you at least need somebody to share the load. So but that person have to complement what you do. So now a lot of you are in very comfortable zone. Your friends, same faculty, same modules, everything same from day one to graduate. So when you go, same, what do? You don't have somebody that complements you. So now as you have time still in school, best time to go across, go and find, meet as many people. One day you need a tech guy, one day you need somebody who is good at marketing, you need somebody who's good at sales, right? And this is the risk-free kind of period where you can just make friends. At the end of the day, you don't know what's going to happen in 5 years' time, right? So we have sent many founders going back, and we did invest in another one that came back after 2 months. He somehow managed to find a tech guy, and they've been running for the past 1.5 years. Yeah. So, but I also don't quite encourage it, because they don't know each other. The risk is too high for us. If you have already known the guy for, or the girl for some time, you've been working together, that kind of helps.
So it's actually quite important for, it's one of the factors when you assess a. Oh, okay. So Mr. Binod, who is the one person in business whom you think that if you do not have him or her, then it will be really, really tough to have brought the business to where it is? Okay, I do lah.
So when I started the company, it was just me. A year later, one of my previous co-founders from the first startup quit his job and joined. So I brought him on board as a co-founder. And I think the first, he's since left the company, but I think we went through a lot of points where I think if I was doing it by myself, I was like, wow, give up already. Yeah. So and that's why I say you need someone who's able to go through thick and thin with you. There were months that we had to forego our own salary to pay the staff so that everybody would still, have food lah. And still, as in you are the first to get cut and you're the last to get a raise. Let's just put it that way.
That is how to keep.
Yeah. Right. If you don't believe in it enough and you're not willing to go the extra mile for the people working for you, what makes you think you will believe in your idea? At the end of the day, it's still your company, right? So I would say during that period, my co-founder really, the both of us, the first year was pretty rosy because property market was doing really well. You're probably too young then, but the bun that brought the entire market to its knees, right? So, and if nobody's buying property, nobody takes loans. It's as simple as that. So, and then we were in this middle phase where this was before we expanded to other products, and we only had one revenue stream, right? So like, and the banks didn't want to pay us for credit card acquisitions, they didn't want to pay us for anything else. So really our big break came when the government introduced the do not call list, right? So previously they would spend all this money on telemarketers, and then once that got canned, which was basically overnight, where do you put the money? You either put it in newspaper ads or billboards, or you put it online, and then you're already there with the traffic ready to go. Yeah. So that was it.
Any other questions?
Hi, thank you, Dr. Harry. So this question also pertains to co-founders. Let's say all of us are from SIM, right? Different schools are SIM as well. SIM is a management university, so we don't really have other faculties like engineering or ICT. Therefore, we do not have much of an opportunity to network with, let's say, find our future CTOs or co-founders, technical co-founders. This is one problem that I think we all might face in the future or we're already facing now. Like for myself, I'm a fresh graduate. I have an idea, let's say, in InsurTech. However, one thing that I do not know, or the huge thing that I do not know is the technical side of things, You can't have InsurTech without the tech, right? So,
You have to tech.
Is there an invitation?
yeah, and another thing is that
You got job offer already.
Take it. Say yes.
Yeah, and another thing is like, I know team is really important, like, you can't just have your management side, but you also need sales, marketing, tech, right? And even if I were to think of approaching angels or seed investors for funding, if I know I don't have a team, I know I wouldn't stand much chance. But without my team, then there's no funding. Then without funding, then I can't move on to find other guys as well. So do you have any advice on how people like us who do not have contacts with the tech guys, like how can we get matched with them, or how can we find like-minded people to co-found businesses with? Thank you.
Probably. Okay,
No.
Okay, I'll go for that deal, and I want to shoot more. I guess it's a test of resourcefulness. So, like I said, we have sent a lot of single for the back, and it's okay. If you can't find a co-founder, then seriously, something's wrong with you, right? I mean, we didn't say it that way, but yeah, they're fine. So one of them went to meetup sessions, and they just take a board and then start pitching their idea. And say, I want to go fund this. Interested in this idea? Come join. And if you can't do that, you can't find. I mean, I'm sure you have friends from secondary school, JC, poly, before this that probably went different directions. Those are one initial source, or you can ask friends of friends to refer, right? There are many channels, but if you can't really get that, then how do you do a lot more things as you go down the road, right? There are a lot more challenges that's coming up. So I would say just try to go from people like us, or if not go for meetup sessions, go for different networking sessions, try to see if you can pitch your idea at the same time, validate the idea, and get people to find you. So that's my initial.
That sums it up, isn't it? I mean, it's a test of what you can do, seriously. And then you open Tinder, so you can find. So. Seriously, do anything you can do. I mean, there are meetup sessions here. You can go around, hang around this place, go eat at Timber every day, and then find co-founders. I'm sure at some point of time, if you really believe in what you can do and you're really good at what you do, that shouldn't be a problem.
By the way, the SIMYEN IT subcommittee is currently almost empty. Anybody who is confident in IT skills, please submit to whoever you recognize that is in the subcommittee. Okay. Thanks.
Actually, I have a question.
Yes?
So I think this question is more for Mr. Bino. I think a lot of us at this phase in our lives right now, we are looking for job opportunities or internship opportunities. What are some qualities that you would like to see or you would like your interns to have? Because I think at this point in time, we do not have a lot to offer right now. Other than hard labor and they always say interns do all that sideline and printing and shredding paper, cleaning whatever. But what kind of qualities are the most important to you as if you're looking for an intern right now?
Willingness to learn and hardworking. Those are the two. I think if you're, I only look for those two qualities, right? As an intern, you may not have the pre-existing knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
We do. We don't have the bandwidth capacity, right? So, like, there's never enough time to do things that we want to do. So you want someone who can learn fast and is willing to go all out in the name of learning and improving themselves. So you are furthering your own personal goal, and the company is also benefiting from you learning something new and contributing back to the company. So I don't like people who, I've had people come in and say, I want to do a two-week internship or 1 month internship. What's the point? Like, I take 3 weeks to train you, and then 1 week later you're gone. You get more, the value that we get is not much, right? So, I look for people who are very clear in terms of what they want to learn. It's not I can come in and do anything. I just want to intern in your company. That's not ideal, right? So, if you want to learn about marketing, I prefer talking to. I would hire an intern who says, I want to learn marketing. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to learn and get out of it. So if you are clear about what you want to get out of it, then we can be clear about what we can offer, and then we work towards a mutually beneficial arrangement, right? At the end of the day, honestly, interns are great because you're super cheap, right? The cost of training you shouldn't be more than what you're giving back to the company, more than the value you're giving back to the company. And to be honest, as an intern, that's the only thing you should be concerned about, not your salary. In fact, you should be willing to work for nothing, because the value and the skills that you learn in a 3-month internship period from a company that's willing to train you and not make you clean the floors is going to carry through with you and add value to your career as well. So,
Okay, thank you.
I would not encourage giving shares to, like, for example, an employee that stays with a company for maybe 5 years or more. What kind of stages, or do you guys encourage or disencourage like giving shares to employees after they come in for so long?
is that for me?
So let me just try to answer. The concept of giving shares is what we call vesting, a vesting period. So for example, if you come in with a specific skill that's important and will contribute to the company, chances are interns won't get shares. So interns, you just need to work as hard as possible and get as little as possible. That's fine. Learn as much as possible. Okay.